Hey, welcome to Main Stage Music's weekly live stream. And more, am I here to show you a cool piece of gear that, man, I'll tell you what, it makes me excited to play bass again. So first of all, thank you so much for watching. If you're on Facebook, welcome. And make sure you invite your friends and so on. But if you're on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click on subscribe, because then you can catch all the cool live stream videos that we do very regularly. You can comment and so on and so forth. So anyways, what am I playing here? It's a big stick, and it's got 4 strings on it. It's made by this company Stagg that we have started selling years ago. It is an electric upright bass. It's called the EDB, which stands for electric double bass. And it is effectively a 3/4 scale, which is the scale everybody knows, electric upright bass. So what you've got here is 4 strings. They are the flat wound. It has the heavily radiused fretboard. This is an upright for anyone who's ever played one. But of course, it's a lot more compact. It's basically a tall stick that is very easy to transport. And man, I'm telling you what, it feels the part. I've actually got a couple of upright basses, and I can tell you that this one it's got the feel. You know, I also forgot to mention, by the way, I apologize, that if you guys have any questions, I do have my phone logged in. Okay, you're welcome to comment on either YouTube or on Facebook Live, and we will be happy to answer any questions you might have about this really cool upright bass. So first of all, how does it sound? Well, we started off with that kind of little country lick here, and of course that, you know, you might have thought, oh, that's just the bass in the sound, in the track, but actually it was me playing along with it. But upright basses have a very distinct tone. It's very throaty, I guess you could use that term. It's obviously a considerably longer scale than what an average electric bass player would be used to. And of course you have to get used to playing it, you know, vertically instead of horizontally. It doesn't have frets, so you kind of need to know where you're going. And there is a technique to sliding into notes that is really unique to bass players. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration. Of course, it's tuned exactly the same. You have E, A, D, and G. So no different than any other bass. How do I have this plugged in? Well, we're going to look on the camera here, the bottom camera, and you'll see my crotch, but you'll also see that back here, it's just plugged in a regular 1/4-inch jack. Now, we have the jack plugged into a standard DI box, and that's it. So it's just really bass, DI, sound system. You can see that how the strings go over the bridge here. It's just a traditional, you know, call it what you will, but, you know, traditional bridge where the only thing holding it down is just the tension of the strings straight down. So it's not like it's anchored to it or so on. It's very similar to the way a traditional bass is. So really, yeah, there's nothing weird going on here. Okay, you can go back to the normal. Hey, there we go. But it's got the sound and it's got the feel. So what is the sound? Well, that kind of sustaining, deep, throaty, compressed tone. And I'll tell you, man, this is the sound. Trailers for sale or rent. Yeah, you guys don't want to hear me do Roger Miller covers, do you? But it's got that great jazzy. It's got sustained for days. Now, a couple of things that you guys might be wondering is, what is this and this? Well, this bass obviously was designed for people who are used to using a full upright bass. So they thought, well, if this is a stick, it's going to feel weird being, you know, real close, right? So they built these little flexible, but they're made with metal with a foam exterior that threads to the side of this. And it basically gives you that same distance from the neck or fretboard, whatever word you want to use, to your body as having that full body of an upright bass would be. It's even got a slight angle to simulate that difference of span, okay? This part, for people who are used to draping their arm over the body of a bass, I'm telling you, as I said, I have an upright bass. I've played upright basses in bands, okay? And I can tell you, this is very accurate to that feel. So if you're used to doing a... and you've been getting used to having that up there, this is a nice feature, okay? Really is a cool feature that they've set up there. So these guys were thinking ahead, no doubt. Now, the body itself looks to be made from, I want to say alder, okay? It's definitely a hardwood. It's got wide grain. It does not feel or look like maple, so I'm going to guess it's alder. But it's solid. I mean, it is a solid block. And then you have the control panel here on the side. Now I want to show you some really neat features here. So go ahead, let's do the lower camera again. We'll call it the crotch cam, okay? And what you've got is you've got two controls here. The first one, as you can imagine, is volume. It's very responsive, okay? It fades, so whatever pots they're using is actually pretty good. The fade is nice, and there's a nice hot preamp in it. The other one is, what do they say? Let me see. So it's obviously a tone. The more you turn it that way, you got more of that swollen sound. Then you got like a treble cut. Yeah, man, that sounds really good. Okay, so then you might think, okay, I see a blue light, and then I see two small jacks. These right here are really cool, okay? So we already know that it's plugging in the back in a standard 1/4-inch jack. So what we have here is a headphone preamp or headphone amplifier built in. You can plug your headphones right into this for silent practice. So you plug a set of earbuds in, turn the volume where you want to go. It sounds incredible. There's the Chattanooga Choo Choo going by. Anyways, if you guys can hear that at home. So this thing, you just plug your headphones in and you're rocking. Okay, no one else has to hear you. But of course, I don't know, if you guys haven't played bass, I'm going to tell you, bass always sounds better when you're playing along with something, right? So like when we started the show, we had some music playing. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that again. Can you cue that back up? And then you put the camera back up here so they can see my goofball face. Move the camera back down because I know that this angle really excites some people, but there you go. Hear that big bass? I turned the tone preamp all the way up. I'm gonna turn it down. Hear the difference? I like it this way. Yeah, that's better. Makes it so much more fun to play when you have a track like this going on. By the way, all those tracks, all you got to do is go to like YouTube or some sort of sharing place like that, type jam track, whatever instrument you're playing, and boom, pops up. That was just off of YouTube. So the neat thing though is that, getting back to this, the controls here, the first one is a headphone, the other one is an auxiliary input. So you take your phone, you take your CD player, any kind of music player, you can plug it into this secondary input, hear the track you got queued up, and then plug your headphones in, and boom, you got a whole band right there for you to practice with and jam with. So this is really a smart design, and again, I really like what they're doing with it. Now, another thing to point out about this is it's very easy to get around. So I do drive a pickup truck, but I'll tell you what, putting an upright bass in a truck, it's a commitment, okay? You got to have your tailgate down. Who wants to have a costly bass like that sticking up? I took this one. It has a little pin on the bottom, okay, if you want to go back to this point here. It's got a pin on the bottom that you just slide in and out. Okay, it contracts, and I had this in the back seat of my pickup truck, okay? Super easy to pop in, doesn't weigh anything. I'd say the total weight of this is probably 9 pounds maybe, but again, it feels like nothing because it's on the floor. It's just pivoting. So if you're shorter or taller, it's fully adjustable. It can match your size, even little shavers, okay? Now, the last thing, you might think tuning, okay? Because the headstock, as you see on this, it's kind of chunky, okay? So tuning a bass like this, you know, you have to think, well, what are we doing here? Well, I'm using a clip-on tuner. Now, you might go, what? How are you going to clip a tuner on that big old chunky head? Go back, turn to the control section here. I have a Korg pitch clip, okay? Got it right there. And I've just taken it and hooked it to the bridge, and look at how responsive it is. Tells me I'm right in tune. It holds tune extremely well, and look at that, dead on. I've been jamming on it all this whole time, and it stays right on there. You could even put it right in the case like that. Just leave it be. Those tuners, they're like what, $25, something like that. So it's not a costly item by any stretch, and it doesn't mess with your playing style. It's out of the way. So really a cool item, hands down. So now you might think, okay, what are we dealing with here cost-wise? It's not expensive. The least expensive upright bass someone can get is going to be around $1,500 and be huge. It's not going to come with a case or any sort of gig bag. This guy, you plug right in and go, has all the features we talked about. It only sells for $879, okay? I know, it's a freaking awesome deal. And it sounds so good. It needs no maintenance. You just, you know, pack it up and go. And I'll tell you, the other thing I think about is poor bass players, okay? Everybody can tell you the name of the lead guitar player. They can tell you, of course, the lead singer. But oftentimes the bass players get overlooked. Now, I don't know why that is. Really, the bass player is the most important guy in the band. He's carrying the whole band. I mean, you're following him. But you know what? Can you tell me who Aerosmith's bass player is right off the bat? Tom Hamilton. But whatever. Not many people can unless you're like a huge fan, right? So with this, it's going to give the bass player a little bit of much needed visibility, okay? So when you play a gig with one of these, people are like, oh, dude, and he had this stick, and it stood up. It was really cool, and man, it sounded just so. Or if you're a bluegrass band, okay, you need that look of an upright bass, especially if you're doing festivals. But of course, they don't like a guy walking in with a fretted style bass. They want the traditional look. But again, unless if you're driving a normal vehicle, how in the heck are you supposed to do that? So again, another problem solver right here. And you can slap on this. I mean, it's got it, man. You can definitely do it. So I would highly recommend coming down. Oh, let me just make sure that you guys are all satisfied with questions. Okay, we're good. So I want to, again, take these times to come with you guys, show you some new products. This guy does come included with a carrying case. It's a soft gig bag, but again, it's included. And so really, everything is ready to go. That being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching another quick little music demo. I am Brad with Main Stage Music. We're open 6 days a week. Pop on into the shop and we'll show you something cool. Hey, let's end on a cool little song again. All right, that way they can kind of, you know, yeah. Let's listen to something here. Gonna do some country? We'll find out. She likes to surprise me. So. Woo! See you guys next time.